A vacant building on the Sisters of St. Benedict campus may soon become senior housing. More on the proposal, plus the Ferdinand Folk Fest was recently awarded a grant from the Dubois County Community Foundation, and Purdue Extension educator Jan Dugan talks about squash tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin this evening with potential new life for a vacant building on the Sisters of St. Benedict campus. Last night, the Ferdinand Town Council heard a proposal for future plans with Bennett Hall. Under the proposed plan, Bennett Hall would be converted into 15 senior housing units. The units would be 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartments for lower to middle income senior citizens. They would also feature amenities such as a community room and an exercise facility, along with being energy efficient. Rent for the units would tentatively be set somewhere between $320 and $650 a month, though nothing is set in stone there. Now, Carla Naum with project consultant Milestone Ventures Incorporated out of Indianapolis told the council that the project would need federal funding. The application for that funding is due on November 3rd. Naum told the council that the project application would likely be one out of roughly 50 that would be sent in this year. Of those, Naum says that only 11 to 16 of them get funded. Naum says the idea came about after a conversation between the Sisters of St. Benedict and Lieutenant Governor Sue Ellspermann. Naum says Ellspermann then called David Miller with Hoosier Uplands Economic Development Corporation, who then introduced Milestone to the sisters. Naum says the proposed project would fulfill a need for Ferdinand if it were to be approved.
There's more and more senior citizens in this country, in this state, and in Ferdinand every year. And there hasn't been enough housing being built to meet all their different needs. And there also hasn't been exactly the type of housing that serves every kind of need. So besides the fact that there's a big demand for affordable housing that senior citizens can pay for and live in nicely, this one will provide some different options.
Meanwhile, Ferdinand Town Council President Ken Seacard says the proposal would be a win-win for everyone.
We're thrilled about that because their market research shows that we need some more. Our current housing is filled, that we do have, and so this would be some additional 2-bedroom, 2-bath homes or apartments in a building that the sisters need to find something to do too. Otherwise it's going to sit there empty, and we would eventually have problems there. So it brings some viable people into town. It's going to be some more folks in town spending money at our local stores.
If approved, renovation work on Bennett Hall would start sometime next year, with the project being completed in 2016. The total investment would be $4.1 million. Now, the council has set 2 special meetings next month to further discuss the proposal. Those will be on Tuesday, October 7th and Monday, October 27th at Ferdinand Town Hall. Both meetings will start at 5 o'clock. A tax abatement could also be part of the project, and that will be further discussed at these special meetings. In other business, the council approved changes to the stormwater ordinance in response to drainage issues at Holiday Foods and other local businesses. Seacard says the idea is aimed at large gravel parking lots that have caused the town issues in the past. Finally, the council appointed the 3 members for the town's recently relaunched Economic Development Commission. The appointees were Brian Dale, Keith Rahman, and Dan Colligan. Well, we're now approaching flu season, and the Dubois County Health Department has announced details for this year's flu shot clinics. The department says this year's seasonal clinics will start next Monday morning, that's September 15th, beginning at 8 a.m. The clinics will then be held daily between 8 and 11 a.m. and again between 1 and 3 p.m. each afternoon. There will also be pediatric flu clinics this year. The health department says details on those will be coming out soon. Now, older folks will be able to be vaccinated for the flu as well. The department says it will once again be offering the high-dose influenza vaccine for those over the age of 65. They say the immune system weakens with age, thus placing older people at a higher risk of getting the flu and later becoming severely ill. Now, VaxCare will once again be partnering with the health department to submit claims to certain private insurance companies and Medicare Part B. The health department says most private health care companies and Medicare cover flu shots as preventative health care. However, the department says all Medicare and insurance cards must be presented when you show up to get your flu shot. The health department is again reminding folks of the importance of getting their flu shot. They recommend that everyone 6 months or older get vaccinated. There are a few groups of people being emphasized for vaccinations. These include children under the age of 5, especially those 2 and younger, pregnant women, and those with medical conditions like asthma and heart disease. The health department is also offering tips to keep folks away from the flu aside from the vaccine. These include getting plenty of rest, washing your hands, and staying at home if you do get sick. The Ferdinand Folk Festival was a recent recipient of grant money from the Dubois County Community Foundation. The foundation recently awarded a $4,000 grant to the festival. The grant will go towards supporting the growth of the event while sustaining it for the future. Ferdinand Town Manager Chris James says the money will go a long way for the festival.
That $4,000 goes right to us, to the bank, and will help us not so much nest egg, but it gives us a little cushion in case we come up with some last-minute unexpected expenses. We've got some money to take care of that, and then next year when the 2015 Fest preparations begin, we've got money in the bank that we can start the process up instead of starting basically from scratch and starting from zero and working our way back up again.
Now, this year marks the 5th year for the annual Ferdinand Folk Festival. The event is presented by premier-level sponsor Best Home Furnishings, and it's set to be held next Saturday, September 20th in the town's 18th Street Park. A complete schedule of events and more information about this year's Folk Festival is available by going online to FerdinandFolkFestival.com. You can learn more about the Dubois County Community Foundation by going online to dccommunityfoundation.org. Details for the Dubois County launch of a statewide program have now been announced. The local launch of the All-In program will be held this upcoming Tuesday evening, September 16th from 5 to 7 p.m. The launch will take place at the Center for Technology, Innovation, and Manufacturing on the Vincennes University Jasper campus. Now, the All-In initiative was designed by Indiana Humanities, which is a statewide nonprofit group aimed at connecting people with their communities. Its goal is to challenge Hoosiers to think, read, talk, and do. The initiative accomplishes this through 16 challenges divided into different categories such as Explore, Discover, and Dream. The All-In initiative was created as a new way to help connect folks with their communities ahead of the upcoming 2016 bicentennial here in Indiana. It launched statewide back in June. Some of the events that will take place include ethnic food and music, family stories, a timeline challenge known as Indianiversary, book donations, inspirational quotes, and shaping the future. If you aren't able to make it to next Tuesday evening's event, you can still get involved. You can do so by going online to indianahumanities.org/all-in. Numerous county organizations and entities are partnering with Indiana Humanities for this event. These include VUJC, the municipalities of Jasper, Huntingburg, and Ferdinand, the Jasper Chamber of Commerce, Purdue Extension, and the Sisters of St. Benedict. The American Red Cross has launched a new cell phone app that officials say is the first of its kind. The Red Cross launched its blood donor app yesterday. The organization says the new app is designed to put the power to save lives in the hands of donors. Now, the new app allows folks to schedule blood donations, track their total donations, earn various rewards, and invite friends to join them in blood-giving efforts. Other features include a locator for folks to find blood drives or blood donation sites near them, special badges that can be unlocked through the app, and exclusive offers and discounts. The new app is free. You can download it from app stores including iTunes and Android apps. You also can go online to redcross.org/apps, redcrossblood.org/blood app, or text blood app to 90999 for a direct link to download. Of course, message and data rates for texting may apply. Red Cross officials say the app builds on the success of its award-winning disaster and emergency preparedness apps. Those have been downloaded more than 5 million times within the past 2 years. A 79-year-old southwestern Indiana woman must pay more than $300,000 in restitution and serve a year in jail after she pled guilty to stealing from her late employer's estate. Frances Sue Terrell was sentenced by a Posey County judge yesterday, 1 day after she pleaded guilty to counts of theft. Her sentence includes 1 year in jail, 1 year of house arrest, and 2 years of probation. Terrell became trustee for southwestern Indiana entrepreneur and businessman Lloyd Quinn's estate after Quinn passed away in 2010. Chief Deputy Prosecutor Jonathan Parkhurst says a forensic accountant hired by the Quinn family testified on Monday that he believes Terrell stole nearly $1 million between 2005 and last year. However, under her plea, Terrell admitted only to stealing about $317,000 from Quinn's estate. Governor Mike Pence is touting a new management system that he hopes will improve state government and save Indiana money. Pence announced the launch of the Management and Performance Hub yesterday afternoon at the State House. The new initiative will rely on centralized data collection to provide better answers about state issues. As an example, Pence pointed to drug use trends mapped out over the past 20 years. The new office space and equipment cost close to $340,000, and the new data software costs $500,000. The state is set to save money by ending a $35,000 annual lease on Indianapolis office space. Pence also says his staff has identified state programs to be shut down. The move comes as Pence has forced various state agencies to cut their spending. Finally this evening, Indiana is now asking the U.S. Supreme Court to decide whether gay marriage should be legal in all 50 states. Yesterday, the State Attorney General's office asked the High Court to reverse a ruling last week by the 7th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals, which declared Indiana and Wisconsin's bans against same-sex marriage unconstitutional. Indiana says its case offers a perfect opportunity to settle the national debate once and for all. Attorneys for gay rights group Lambda Legal and the American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana say they are set to file separate responses within 24 hours. Last Thursday, as you'll recall, the 7th Circuit upheld a federal judge's decision that found that Indiana's same-sex marriage ban violated the Constitution. All right, coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform with Jan Dugan. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.